Hi, my name's Jeff and I live on my boat, and about a year ago I bought an Aladdin lamp for about £3.50, and I thought I'd give it a go as a form of light and a form of heating on my boat. And I've had some ups and downs with it, and I've done a few modifications, and I'd like to talk about that. Well, when I first bought it, I set it up under a ventilator, and I found that because I didn't have a mantle, I didn't have an awful lot of light coming out of it. So I used it for quite a while without a mantle, and it worked great as a heater, but not an awful lot of light coming out of it. So in the end I bit the bullet and bought a mantle, which was £16, and I was a bit iffy about buying one because I know from previous experience with mantles, when you've got to touch them and they disintegrate. So anyway, I bought it, tried it, and it worked absolutely fantastic. A really bright light and very efficient, giving off a lovely heat, and I thought, great, I've cracked it. The problem I found is periodically and intermittently it would just flare up, and so right up the chimney would be all this red flames and a horrible smell, and yeah, I was very glad that I spotted it immediately. So I thought, well, perhaps it's a one-off. Now the next night I didn't get any trouble at all, and then the next night, after it had been on for like a couple of hours and I just started to trust it, it just flared up again. So this went on for a few weeks of sometimes it did and sometimes it didn't, and in the end I just lost all faith in it, and I thought, that mantle's got to go. So I took the mantle off, and then I was back to square one of having a nice heat but not a lot of light. So I started thinking about how I could get the flame, the white flame, to come up before it started to turn blue, and because that's what happens as you turn the flame up from the white flame, it immediately turns blue and you lose all your light. So I started thinking about it, and then I got a eureka moment that if you adjust the middle flame spreader, then the flame has got to climb up around it, and so I tried that, and it works amazingly well. And so that's the whole purpose of this video, is to show you how to do that and see what you think. Obviously it's not as efficient as a mantle, but it's pretty close. It really brightens up the cabin with a wonderful light, and instead of being a white light, it's a nice sort of very bright yellowy light, which I like as well. So let's have a look. Okay, so here's the Aladdin lamp. It's a model 12, and what I've done is I've bolted it with these two bolts into a cast iron skillet, which is really heavy, but just to make extra sure, I've bolted it right through the table as well, so the whole thing is absolutely solid. So this is what you do if you want to get a nice white flame without the mantle. Is I don't know if you can see it there, but I've made a little mark on the inner burner, and all you do is screw it into there. So instead of pushing it all the way down, I've lifted it up until I come up to about that line. Okay, so then I turn my wick up and I light it. There we go. Then I put the chimney on. Like that. And up she comes. Now what I have done in the past is turn it straight up high, and ended up cracking the chimney, so I'm not going to do that for now. I'm going to stop the video and let it warm up. But looking at it there, that is about the height that the flame would normally go up to. Any higher than that and it would go into a blue flame. So I'll just stop the camera and let it warm up and try it, and then I can show you properly. Okay, so my lamp's been on now for about 5 minutes, so we're ready to turn up. As I say, if you turn it up too early, you can crack the glass, which I have cracked it before. I've done a bit of a repair with some Aradite, which seems to be stopping it from spreading, so that's good. It's also worth pointing out, although I know this isn't essential because I've tried it with a different one, on this model there's holes around the bottom, and going up through the tank is a tube which goes up into the inner burner there, or the spreader, and that also helps funnel air up. But as I say, the models that don't have that version, this works as well. So anyway, what I'm going to do is to turn it up a tad. Before I do, I'll just say that was probably how much light you got without the mantle. If you turned it up now without raising the inner part, all you'd get is a blue flame and the light would go down, of course. But now I can turn it up to there, and I'm getting quite a nice bright flame, or I can turn it up to there. That's probably, you can go up to there, but that's probably just getting too mad. Look, use a lot of fuel like that. So that's about the normal light I have of an evening, and that is really great. So the other thing I've done is I had a ventilator here going through the coach roof. So what I've done is I've got an old Indian brass vase here, and cut the top off it, and that makes a good funnel. Then I've got a stainless steel wok here, and that radiates the heat downwards, so it makes it really efficient. So basically what I've got there is a really nice light. It gives me really nice heat. In fact, when it's about 10 degrees outside, it's more like about 21 degrees inside, and I haven't had any trouble with it flaring up out of control that I've had with the mantle. So I trust this one, and I'm going to stick with it. So hope you find this interesting. I certainly did, and goodbye.